Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 steps for setting boundaries from an Alexander technique perspective. I'm deciding to call these boundaries integrated boundaries. Number 1, find curiosity for how you interact with the environment and people. Do you ever notice when you're speaking to X person with whom you're trying to set a boundary, whether you are making yourself smaller in order to be in that role and really hold on to your ideas, or whether you feel like floaty and uneasy, or whether you feel pretty good and like you have permission to be who you are. That is an important part of setting integrated boundaries, because if you don't know how it feels to be you in a moment of creating a boundary, then you will not be able to make a new choice about how to maintain that boundary. That brings me to step number 2, make room for compassion. A lot of people have a tough time forgiving themselves when they find that they've been doing something that they've labeled wrong. For example, let's say that you have had to say no and you just feel really compressed and like it was really hard to say no. Maybe there can be a new way for you to understand why that compression is happening. You must say thank you to that feeling, because that feeling is there for a reason. And so, first, noticing the fact that you're contracting when that happens, and secondly, having compassion for that feeling, and then saying, do I really need to contract myself in order to say no?
Tip number 3.
Allow a new response to emerge when you say no and you feel compressed. Notice that and allow yourself to come out of the compression. Now imagine yourself saying no from this place of expansion. Notice your breathing. That has a total different sensory experience. What would you label the new feeling? Does it feel exhilarating? Does it feel peaceful and calm? Then before saying no, make sure that you find that in yourself and then you address the person from that place of calm. It's okay if you feel like when you do this practice of saying no, for example, from a place of calm and expansion, it's okay if you feel like that doesn't feel like me. I promise it's still you, because if it wasn't you, who is doing this compression and expansion? But it might take you a little while to get used to the new sensory experience of saying what you want to say from a different feeling. Number 4, practice relating to your environment from that new place of discovery. So if you've discovered that setting a boundary is difficult because when you do, you have X, Y, or Z response, then the useful part is that you know what that already feels like. Now, what would it be like to relate to any new experience around creating a boundary, first finding calm in yourself and then saying what you need to say to the person? This is something that requires practice, and in this step, your only work is to identify how you would like to feel instead of how you've been feeling while you are setting that boundary. Number 5, practice claiming your space no matter what the situation is. Step number 5 is all about giving yourself the chance to try it in a real situation. The whole point of creating integrated boundaries is so that you can feel more safe within yourself and also with other people while you're saying what you need to say. And there's an easy way that you can prompt yourself. Here are some questions that you can use. Can you feel your feet on the floor? Are you breathing? Can you let your head gently balance on your spine? remembering that there's plenty of space above you and below you to support you. And can you see the place, the person, or the situation that you're dealing with? Can you see that? And can you see beyond it? Because all of those elements are going to remind you that this situation that you're facing is only a situation and that you can have control over it if you remember to feel what you're feeling. A lot of the times our boundaries go awry because we don't want to feel the uncomfortable feelings of not being grounded. Now, I've given you a few steps that you can use to understand why the feelings are there, but also to choose them for yourself. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope that you keep practicing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and please leave me some comments. Bye!